You are watching On Demand. Please do not try to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Christine Lampard, Jane Moore, Colleen Nolan, and Frankie Bridge.
You win the award today for the entrance, yes. Hello and welcome to your midweek Loose Women. We've got a packed show full of lunchtime laughs, showbiz stories and big debates. Here's what's coming up. Doctor said she would be in a wheelchair by 60, but 20 years after contracting a life-threatening illness, actress Leslie Ash will be revealing how she defied the odds and is even training for a charity run. Also on the show, can you tell how much someone loves you just by the way they look at you? That was awkward. And forget the Lilo and flip-flops. Find out which one of us always packs some of these in their suitcase when they go away.
It looks a bit
I was about to say, I'd like to confirm it is, of course, tea bags. If I could open it that quick enough. There they are, loads of them. And we're going to be revealing our weird and wonderful holiday essentials and yours at home as well. Now, I'll get rid of the tea bags. As the number of teens vaping has exploded, teachers and parents are worried we're facing an epidemic, with schools across the UK installing vape detection units in their toilets and airport-style detectors to tackle the issue. One school found children as young as year 7 leaving class to vape in the bathroom. So is it the responsibility of teachers to crack down on this vaping epidemic, Colleen? It's very difficult. I know, I'm sure teachers will be at home going, we have enough on our plates and this is just something else. But it's an important something.
It is an important something else, but I don't think it's necessarily down to the teachers all the time to control it. I think it's quite shocking. I think it's shocking anyway, when I go out, how every shop you go into, whether it's supermarkets or a corner shop or wherever, it's a whole display and it's all different colours and sparkly, whereas now they put cigarettes behind you can't see them on display now. I think they're really aimed at kids, and I think now it's become trendy for kids to smoke them very young because they're kind of being told, we're so much better for you than smoking and there's no harm yet type of thing. So I do think obviously teachers need to, it's like when you go in now and I don't know what happens when you go in now because I'm 58, I'm in school. I never went to school in the first place. But I know now when Kira was at school, they checked bags for phones. Yeah. And if they found cigarettes, obviously, they'd take them out. So they do check their bags anyway. Maybe now vaping's just become another issue of that. But yeah, I think, there was an undercover thing that happened in Manchester recently where they sent a young underage girl, because they're not meant to sell vapes or specific types of vapes to anyone under 18. And I think she was 12 or 13. And they sent her to 5 shops, and all 5 shops sold her the vapes that were meant to be, and they didn't ask for ID. And they were actually telling her which ones were best and which ones did this, that, and the other. So, something has to happen because it is an epidemic. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah. And if these children are leaving or having to leave classroom to go to the bathroom to vape, let's just remember this is highly addictive.
Yeah.
And we don't know where we're going to be in 10, 20 years with where we are health-wise. So we actually don't know what we're dealing with. And they're all colourfuls, like you've said.
I think with anything there has to be a pincer movement with what happens at home and what happens at school. So if it's in the school rules, as you say, that you can't have a vape, then they're well within their rights to take them away from you, check your bag. And parents need to wise up to this as well. But the biggest enemy in all of this for me is the tobacco industry. Because the tobacco industry now is, can't sell cigarettes anymore to people because that's bad. And, you've only got a few people now that still smoke. You being one of them, Cole,
All right.
Well, but, you know you know the risks. You did vape, and you went back to smoking.
Because I vaped more.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So there is the case in point. So the tobacco industry now has decided, OK, we haven't got enough smokers to keep our profits up, so now we're going to move into vaping. And if you look at the adverts, they look like you're buying a trendy music device. It's all like leaping in the air and bright colours and young people and making it look very cool. It's not cool because it's an addiction like anything else. They're making a fortune out of it. And actually, the statistics are showing that a lot of kids that are vaping would probably never have become smokers. So this whole thing that, oh, yeah, but we're stopping them smoking, is not strictly true. I mean, it's true in some cases, maybe.
It's true, though, because, like, I've got friends, like, that have never even smoked before, and now they're vaping, and it actually really
And you can vape anywhere.
me to see. Yeah, and you can
Pretty
do it.
much.
You sit next to someone, and they're, like, sitting there, and it makes me shocked. And it's something I really don't like. If anyone does it in front of my kids, I'll always be like, can you not do it in front of the boys? And they know what it is. They'll be like, oh, they're vaping.
And it's
I really don't like
and
that.
melon.
Yeah,
because
because they'll think it's normal. They think it's OK to do, especially because you're doing it inside. You know, you're not sneaking outside to do it secretly. I just think, and we have heard of people being ill and having lung issues because of them, and I think that's just going to build up more and more.
You know, and yes, it's not as bad for you as smoking by a long chalk, but we don't know yet. They've not been around long enough yet to get a good medical study into the long-term effects. And surely the best situation with a kid is that they don't smoke and they don't vape either.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting talking about whether teachers were going to try and police this within schools, but apparently 18% of both primary and secondary kids claim their parents were giving them the vapes.
Words fail me.
18%. That's a big number. So if you're being given it by your parents and it's fine and everyone's doing it at home, there's no fear of it then. And because we're not being told that it's big, scary cigarettes.
But I think it's because it's been always pushed that it's much better for you than cigarettes.
That's what I was going to say. They're probably trying to stop them
harmful.
from smoking, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Katie has got in touch to say around 50% of my son's school year vape, and they're in year 8.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Talina says, my daughter is nearly 16 and her friends do it. The local shop sells it to young kids who don't even look 18, and they go in their school uniform and get served as well. So it's having to start at source again, but it's a very, very difficult problem. OK, so picture this. You're on a flight and the child sitting behind you starts climbing and jumping on the table attached to the back of your chair and starts using it like a trampoline. This happened to a passenger on a plane recently. There's a few similar type videos online of various kind of situations. And of course, we never fully know what the setup is. We don't know if the child has some sort of issues, or we don't know who the carers are there. So we know none of the facts, but these things circulate, obviously. How would you approach it, Frankie? And I know what it's like, your boys are a little bit more grown up, but you've been there.
Yeah.
What's it like being on a plane with children, or indeed just being the passenger watching everyone else with their little ones struggle?
I think it's hard, and I've seen that video, and it is difficult. Like you say, we don't know, what's going on with the child and things like that, and I think that's something everyone always needs to try and remember. I think for me, being a parent on a plane, like, no one wants to sit next to you. People see you coming and they think, oh, no, please don't sit in my aisle, or please don't sit near me. And, I sometimes think the same if I'm on a plane and I'm childless, but I would never... if a baby's crying or a child's running around or a child's being naughty, I would never be rolling my eyes or complaining or anything like that. I might have a little moan to Wayne and be like, oh, God, But more because I know that pain of trying to stop your child from either crying or running around. And it's difficult. You don't want to disturb everyone else. But I think as long as someone is seen to be trying, then I don't mind. If a kid is kicking the back of your chair or whatever, and you can hear the mum going, please stop doing that, if you do that again, whatever, then I'd be like, they're trying, they're not ignoring it. If a child is doing it and the mum's off picking her nose or whatever, then you might be a bit more like, OK, can you make an effort? I would never say anything, and I don't think I'd ever complain to anyone. I think a child jumping on the table behind you is a bit extreme. I think I would just hope that an air hostess or something would come over and say, can you maybe get them to stop that? But I've had a row with someone on a plane before because they told me to control my naughty child.
Oh.
And actually...
I only said it once.
You are the naughty child. And I just lost it because he wasn't being naughty. And if he had been, I would have been like, yeah, fair. I'd have been peed off, but I would have understood. And I just went off on one, and I was like, you know what, if you don't want to be with a public or a child on a plane, get yourself a private jet and rah, 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 rah. I just went off on one at the front of this plane, then all of a sudden I thought, oh my God, this is going to end up online. So then I just kind of stopped and I just burst into tears because he wasn't being naughty. We were stuck on the tarmac. He was picking things up for the air hostess. She was more than happy with it. And actually at the time, Parker did have some learning difficulties. He wasn't good at... you know, he couldn't hear properly or speak properly, and he was actually being really well behaved. And I just thought, you don't know our situation, and actually he's being fine. And her husband was sat next to her like this, didn't even make eye contact, was like, this isn't happening. So I just think you need to think about what you say and what you do in those situations.
I have absolute anxiety flying with my two just because I worry about everybody else on the plane and I want them to be as good as I can possibly be. I bring literally as much as I can in my hand luggage to occupy them. I really do. And because I've looked at it so much, like on Instagram, you know, you keep getting similar videos that come through because you've hit on something. That's all I get now. And recently, you know, the pill boxes that you get for like daily pill. This is the latest one I watched recently where you put little different treats or something in each of the days of the month in a pill
What,
box.
like tranquilizers? Or
Well, not quite, but I thought, that's quite clever.
But how long does it enter? My kids said we opened
They
that
would just be like that, I know. But again, that's where my head's at because I put so much thought into it because I try to do the right thing. But if a little one's going to cry or get really agitated, you can't stop it.
If they were on their iPad as well, everyone would have something to say about that as well, though, Christine.
That's true.
I think, as Frankie said, you know when a parent is... Because that happened to me. I was getting on a flight to Thailand in February, and as I was looking down, I was thinking, please don't let that be where I'm sitting, because they were like, you know, two really small children. And I was like, oh, God. But all through because he started to kick the back of my seat, and the mum was, I could hear her like, no, don't kick the lady's seat. And da-da-da. And she, you know, we did the whole flight, and they were so well behaved. And actually, when we got off, I said, you know what? I said, I just want to say, I dreaded it when I sat there. I said, I've got kids myself, but they're old now. I said, I dreaded when I sat down, and you were absolutely brilliant and whatever. Another flight, the parents, so we had 3 kids, probably all under the age of 5. They put the 3 kids in the seats behind us, and they sat on the other side of the aisle having a lovely, quiet time.
That's great parenting.
While their kids just, you know, wreaked havoc.
That's genius.
That's what I thought.
I'd put them on another flight.
Yeah.
Oh, still to come. Should you always put your sisters before misters? We're asking if you could forgive a friend for ghosting you the second they get into a relationship. And men behaving badly actress Leslie Ash will be telling us why she's teaming up with Mr. Motivator and other 90s legends for a cause very close to her heart. We'll see you with that after this. Welcome back. Still to come, from passports to pillows, we're revealing the home comforts we always take away with us on holiday. And in just a moment, we're catching up with actress Leslie Ash. Lots to talk to her about, including whether a role in EastEnders might be on the cards. First, though, competition time. And how do you fancy winning £110,000 in tax-free cash? That was good. It could be in your bank account in time for summer. Jean Johansson has all the details.
Welcome to beautiful Loch Lomond. We've got details of an enormous prize that's sure to get your pulse racing.
This week you have another chance to win an enormous £110,000 in totally tax-free cash, which could be in your account in time for summer.
I'm on stunning Loch Lomond today at the safe hands of my skipper, Fraser.
I mean, just look at the views around us here. It's absolutely fabulous at this time of year.
It is. It's truly stunning. Now, Fraser, there's £110,000 up for grabs. What would you do if you won it?
I would probably buy myself a luxury car.
Oh, why not? Well, that's what Fraser would do, but what would you do if you won all that money? Here's the details on how you can enter.
For another chance to win, text CASH to 88333. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 783333. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY18 PO Box 7 558 Derby, DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 9th of June at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Good luck with that. Now, today's guest is well known for her role as Deborah Burton in the 90s sitcom Men Behaving Badly. But after contracting a life-threatening illness almost 20 years ago, doctors said she would be in a wheelchair by the time she was 60. Well, we are very pleased to say she defied doctors' expectations and is training for a charity fun run. Please welcome Leslie Ash. Welcome, Leslie. And I remember that being such big news 20 years ago, Leslie, but here you are, and it was just really your own personal fight within you, wasn't it? You just thought, I'm not letting this beat me.
I think if someone tells you that you're going to be in a wheelchair by the time you're 60, then that's exactly what you don't want to happen. And, I mean, where the spinal injury was, I had a certain amount of movement. It affected my balance. I go to the gym 3 times a week, you know, I'm very healthy. Yeah, there might be a little issue with the fun run about 3K. I have never tried to walk 3K with a stick, and I might be able to do it, I might not be able to do it, but I'm going to give it a good old go.
Well, that's kind of the whole point of this fun run. It's not about trying to beat any kind of crazy times or anything like that. It's about taking part, and it's 30 years of this Race for Life now, which is incredible for
also
Cancer Research UK, obviously.
Yeah, Cancer Research UK got in contact with me and asked me if I could make a little film with them, with some other 90s icons. I've never been called an icon before. The lovely Anthea Turner, Mr. Motivator. And we all met up, did this little video and some photographs and stuff like that to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Race for Life. And I have to say, what is embarrassing, I did the first one in Battersea Park. I only did the 3K there, so that's why I'm a bit worried. I don't think I'll be able to do it. I found it difficult then. I'm going to find it pretty impossible to do now. And I remember, do you remember Anna Walker?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She was doing it, and she lapped me twice, just running like this, you know. So. But the nice thing about it is that you can walk, you can jog, you can run.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible that you're doing it at all, to be honest. You have defied the odds. But does that prediction play on your mind?
You're sort of waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm quite relieved. I'm 63 now, so I've got this far without it. And I think if I was to stop going to the gym, as they say, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. So you have to keep going, keep it working, keep all your muscles working, because otherwise they will stop and then you'll be in trouble. But
and of course, you've got a little grandson that you've got to keep an eye on every week.
I know, little Lucas. I mean, he is absolutely gorgeous.
So he keeps you running around.
Yeah. And I bet you let him get away with things that you never let your kids get away with.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going.
No.
He's actually. I just said, you know, if he's eating, he has to have clean hands when he leaves the table. I don't. You know, we've just had a refurb done on the flat, and he's going, oh no, don't touch it. Oh no, don't touch that. Oh yeah, but he's ever so good. He just sits there and plays. He's fantastic. He's such a joy.
Even on an aeroplane.
Ah, no, on an aeroplane. I've been listening to that. I think the thing I used to panic, and I put that panic into my kids, and so then they would just behave badly, you know, really even worse. I think if you're calm with your kids, then they tend to sort of calm down. I think you're all looking at me as if to say...
No, but everyone does, don't you? You do instantly, the minute you get on a plane, you tense up because you don't want to be that
You're dreading it,
Well, they used to give them something, you know, like to put them to sleep, I think.
Can't do that.
See, it wasn't just me. Thank you, lovely.
Yeah, I think my mum used to put brandy in my milk. You know,
no, I
if we
didn't.
were travelling. But
very old
I
Irish
don't think
thing.
you can do that
Old
now.
school.
Yeah, definitely not. But there was this antihistamine thing you used to be able to give babies. I'm not sure if you can do that anymore.
No, you can't.
No. We'll move away from
Just good old-fashioned entertainment now.
That's it.
But you mentioned there being a 90s icon.
Oh, you so were.
And I believe you've got loads of 90s clothes still, which my daughters, literally, I found a load in the attic the other day and they fell on them.
Yeah, it's
because
really
it's all
popular.
back in fashion.
Fashion. But isn't that always the way? I mean, I've got loads of stuff that they actually gave us when we finished filming. And I'm a terrible hoarder. I can't throw things away. And it's just as well. I mean, I've got a jacket from the 90s, a denim jacket that I was wearing in that picture. And I wear it all the time. People say, that's really lovely. You
But
know?
I bet it still fits you.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And double denim is back in,
It is
apparently.
very airy, very, very.
Our resident fashionista here.
No, I can confirm, guys. It's very fashionable.
But I'm always fascinated when I meet you because you're only 2 years older than me, but I remember seeing you on the front of all those magazines I used to read, like Jackie. And just, you were like the cool girl that we all wanted to be. Me and all my friends were like, oh, look. Because you were just so sort of, I don't know, you were just, you know, very sunny and you looked very healthy.
I think the reason why I worked, because I was quite the girl next door.
Yes, that's it, yes.
I used to do all the commercials for Nivea and Levi's and stuff like that. I had a fantastic career doing that. And on all the magazines. I think that was good setup for my career, I think.
Yeah.
But of course, Men Behaving Badly was one of my favourite shows. It was not only funny, it was a bit naughty, it was just everything. And lots of things talk about being remade and everything else. But sometimes it was so brilliant of its time. Maybe you have to think, it's like Friends. I don't know if I want to see it back again almost because it was just so perfect.
I think it would be difficult, yeah.
Difficult, exactly, a different time.
It's a shame, yeah, because, I mean, people used to really, really love it, you know, laugh. And Simon Knight is a brilliant writer. You know, we used to have such a great laugh with it. But when it first came out, they did try and say that it was sexist and stuff like that because the boys were like...
Lads.
Boys.
Lads. Boys, exactly.
The way they were. But the women actually made fun of it. And so it's sort of like jogged along really well. I mean, it's so successful. But I don't think you could do it now, which is a bit of a shame, really.
Well, Leslie, good luck with the run, walk, whatever it takes. I know you're going to give it your best. Thank you so much for coming in. And I know there's lots of stuff still that you want to do. I mean, EastEnders is on there, Bridgerton's on there. There's a long list.
Woman.
Leslie, ask everybody. So to come, how easy is it to forgive a fair weather friend? Find out what happened when one of us was ghosted when a friend started a new relationship. See you after this. Welcome back to your Wednesday Loose Women. Keeping you company this lunchtime, it's Colleen Nolan, Frankie Bridge, Jane Moore, and me, Christine Lampard. Some interesting debates on the way, including is quality more important than quantity when it comes to the number of friends you have? And from slippers and tea bags to a tin of beans, what are the most important things you pack when going on holiday? There's all sorts. First though, if you've ever fancied coming to this very studio in London to watch the show in person, I've got some very good news for you. Tickets are now available for our summer shows, so get in there fast. Not only can you watch the show in real life, but you can do this on the telly. We get you to cheer on demand. It's really, really easy, isn't it? We love it. So if you, your friends and family want to come along, go to itv.com/loosewomen to apply for free tickets today. You've enjoyed yourselves today so far, haven't you? There we go.
So well trained.
Thank you. Right. Did you see the pictures of Tom Hanks and his wife Rita on the red carpet? After 35 years of marriage, they still have the look of love going on, don't they? Scarlett Johansson and her husband were also a picture of romance. So can you tell how much someone loves you by the way they look at you, Jane?
Well, I suppose in life, I mean, the look of love is a lovely thing, but there's so much more behind it, isn't there? There's like, there's friendship, there's loyalty, there's trust, there's respect.
They're also on a red carpet, all those pictures, can I just say?
Yeah, but they've been together for 35 years. They've got
And they're all
kids.
actors.
Yes. Oh, so cynical.
I know, yeah, sorry.
A lot of people could probably pretend to do the look of love, but not all of that stuff, that great necessary stuff would be behind it. But the eye contact thing fascinates me because I've just finished watching Married at First Sight Australia,
I love
which
that.
is phenomenal. And one of the, obviously they've only just met at the very beginning of the show, one of the tasks they're given is to just look into each other's eyes for 3 minutes. And it's amazing how many of them struggled with that because it's such an intimate thing.
Like, why do you keep really looking at
Well, like
me?
you got really nervous when I was doing it to you earlier.
Well, I think that's what happens with people generally. When you make eye contact with anyone for a length of time, one of you always breaks the eye contact.
I feel like we're all doing it now and I don't know where to look.
But also, I think because everyone's just used to being on screens and having distractions, eye contact now has become a very sort of rare thing. So, in love, some people that have been together for years can't sit and look at each other in the eyes.
What about look of lust?
Oh.
She's always
Now they're
got
awake.
moving.
Now they're on board. Never mind the love. What about the look of lust?
So there's a different look when it comes to
Well,
love.
I don't know.
Go on.
I don't know which
Do
one.
the look of lust to camera 2. Go on.
I don't know what it is.
It's that look where you
Oh, you
know
look at
what
the
they
mouth.
want to do to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look into their eyes and then you look at the mouth, like.
Is that what you...
See?
That's good.
He wants me now on the front row, I'm telling you. See, now his coat's coming off.
I think you can tell when you see a couple like looking at each other. I don't even think it needs to be like in a loving way. I just think when people are talking to each other, just the way that chemistry, I think you can really tell. Yeah, I think even I met a couple the other day, and even the way they eye rolled at each other, like in jest, you could just feel and tell the love as opposed to like a proper.
It's a connection.
Yeah,
I like
really
it when
nice.
you like, if say you go to a party or something, and you're doing your separate things in different parts of the room, but just occasionally you'll glance over or so and look out for each other.
And you know what each other's thinking.
It's lovely,
That's more
isn't it?
important. It's those little moments, I think, are more important than feeling like you have to have any big gestures in life. I think it's those little things that you know
that you
the
both
chemistry's
know.
still
Yeah.
there.
And someone putting petrol in your car.
Well, you know, you know how happy that makes me. Petrol and car and long
What,
lingering
just
looks.
anyone?
No, not just any. Well, to be fair, I'd be very grateful.
So you're
but
anyone's for a tank of petrol? What are you saying, Christine?
basically why I married him. It was a great help. But yes, and a little glance here and there, just to know you got each other's backs. I think that's lovely. So, staying on the subject of love, what were you all doing at 7:30 this morning? You weren't doing, were you? Oh. Well, according to research, apparently the best time to have is in the morning. Specifically 7:30, yes.
Are you mad?
SEX, yeah. Well, these experts come up with all sorts, and this is the latest. So apparently 7:30 in the morning, optimum time. You're a morning person, aren't you, Colleen?
Not for that.
Well, you've immediately ruled out anybody with small children.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I was like, who's got the time? You're up, you're trying to get them breakfast, getting them dressed, getting them out the door. Blah, 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 blah. You've even had time to wee by that point, let alone...
Expert schmexpert.
Yeah, I bet it was a man.
Yeah, but also when you first wake up, you know, and you're tired and you've got stinky breath and your hair's all over the
Sleep
place.
in your eyes.
Sleep in your eyes, and he has as well. And you think, oof. It's not very sexy, is it? There's no look of love there, is there? There's look of go and brush your teeth before you come near me.
I think that's
I've got goats to feed, Christine.
But it's an interesting one, is it? 7:30 in the morning, like you say, the school runs and everything else.
It's got to be people without kids so much. And also, like, when you first meet, like, any time's a good time, isn't it? Let's be honest. But I think in the morning, maybe people have got more energy.
Or maybe, yeah.
Yeah, people go to
bit
the
more
gym
energetic.
first thing in the morning. Maybe,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's the same
I
sort
don't
of...
do that either, Christine.
All right, well, we've ruled out Colleen for anything in the morning.
I just
Anything
think
about
anything
7:30.
prescriptive is a bad idea. You know, when you get an expert going, this is when the, it's like, whatever.
But this is what happens, you see. Then I think people then read stuff like that and go,
Yeah.
oh, well,
bad.
we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So there's something wrong with our
Exactly.
relationship.
True, yeah.
And the thing is, with anything to do with sex, there's,
What did you say?
you know, with anything like that, you're also, you know, different times of the day, different times of life as life goes on. Your libido, all of that can completely change as you get older, and you might not always be on the same page. And I think it's really important, actually, to maybe not think about all those surveys, and also on social media when they're going, oh, we're doing it 3 times a day. It's like, ooh, get a life. But I just think that it's so important to be open and honest with each other, or all stages of life, and don't take it, you know, if all of a sudden one of you loses your libido, not the other one shouldn't necessarily think, oh, it's because he doesn't fancy me anymore, or she doesn't fancy me anymore. There are different stages, especially with women and menopause and perimenopause, all of those things. So I think it's something that should, I mean, I know we joke about it, I joke about it all the time because I get mortified. But I do think it's important to keep that open and not be, you know, dictated. God, I hate when you all go quiet. It's awful.
It's intensely listening.
Well, I know, because it scares me that you're all listening to the waffle. Keep go.
We've done this show for 20 years,
No, it scares me.
Is it because you're talking about...
Yeah, I think with libido, as long as you're on the same page, it's fine, isn't it? In terms of libido and stuff like that. But I always wonder about age gap relationships. You know, when there's a big age gap, and you've got one person who maybe is reaching a time in their life when they're not quite so up for it all of the time, and the other person is. I think that's a lot of the time when
the age gap
problems
comes into
arise.
it.
Yeah. But then, like you were saying, as long as you talk about it and you don't go off, I think it's really hard for everyone to kind of just not take things personally in that way. And actually, when you sit and talk to someone about it, normally you find out it's actually got nothing to do with you, and it's a personal...
When somebody plays Get It On in your bedroom, you think they mean the kettle, don't you?
That's where I'm going wrong. I played that at 7:30 in the morning. You don't switch the kettle on.
Well, almost 1 in 4 people chose 7:30 a.m. as their best time.
Really?
How
One in what?
1 in 4 people said that 7:30.
So that's only 25% of people. So the other 75%.
Very quick maths.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's very, very quick. I literally wouldn't have figured that out unless it was written in front of me. 2/3 of the participants chose times between 7 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Very specific this.
So that's only...
And then the other third said they had the best sex at night, with 33% choosing times between 9 and 11. I hope that's helped you all today with your diary keeping.
Well, I'm setting my alarm when I get home.
After the break, could you forgive a friend if they ditched you the moment they got into a relationship? And we're unpacking our holiday must-haves. Find out which one of us can't stand leaving the house without tea bags. And not just one tea bag, about 20 of them. See you in a bit. Just a moment, we'll be talking about how to handle flighty friends and whether it's acceptable to pack your own pillow in your holiday bag. First though, competition time and your chance to win a life-changing £110,000 in cold hard cash. Jane Johansson has all the details.
Hello from Tinnabrook on the west coast of Scotland. The sun is shining and I've got details of a life-changing prize you're going to want to get your hands on. This week you have another chance to win an enormous £110,000 in totally tax-free cash. I've come to Carey Farm and this is a lovely wee place called the Hayshed Gallery. It brings together local artists and producers. And Fiona, you are one of the local artists.
I am indeed. I'm very lucky to have my own flock of Hebridean sheep on the farm. I make my textiles from the yarn.
Oh, these colours are gorgeous. And by the way, I have to ask you, what would you do with £110,000?
Oh my goodness, I think perhaps build a bigger studio space.
That's what Fiona would do, but what would you do if you won all that money? Here's all the details of how you can enter.
For another chance to win, text cash to 88333. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 78 3333. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY18 PO Box 7 558 Derby, DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 9th of June at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Good luck. Now, Love Island's Ekin Sue has admitted that since appearing on the reality show, she has lost a lot of her friends. In fact, she says she has just one friend left and that keeping her friendship circle small is best. Jim, you probably, I'm guessing, will disagree with this because I know you're very sociable. You've got lots of really, really good friends who mean a great deal to you. But can you see where she's coming from?
Well, I suppose it depends on why they fell out. I mean, if they behaved badly towards her, then that's obviously another conversation. But, you know, my female friendships are incredibly important to me. I have friends from school, which was, as we know, a very, very long time ago. I mean, different sort of pockets of friends that live near me, where I walk the dog with and stuff like that. You guys, well, you know, even though I can never get her out, ever.
Well, I've got my clock set, that's why.
But no, I pride myself on being a very loyal friend, and I compartmentalise my friends. There's friends that you can tell anything to and confide in, and you know they won't go anywhere else. There's friends that, you know, are a bit gossipy, but they're a great laugh on the night out. So whatever, all of that. And I just think your friends are always there for you at all times of your life. And there's a very old saying, don't put all your eggs in one bar steward. If you get my drift. I said bar steward.
Right.
Yes.
So, i.e., if you put everything into a relationship and you know, don't water your friends, then when that relationship ends...
That's actually exactly completely what happened to me, actually. I had a really, really, really good friend. Spoke to them every week, sometimes every day.
Did you go out with her?
No. No, but she used to come and stay a lot, you know. And but it was one of them phone calls every day. And then they started to have a relationship, and I didn't hear anything for 3 years.
Wow.
I mean, a full 3 years. And then it ended, and then she felt very guilty and a bit embarrassed. And initially I was like, oh, you know what, it doesn't matter. Move on. It didn't work out, but it changed the friendship. It changed the friendship for me, because then I thought, oh, but what about now if you meet someone else?
Yeah.
You're just going to go off again. So it actually did ruin our friendship.
Did you ever broach it with her during those 3 years? Did you ever say, look, I kind of miss you? Or...
No, we kept inviting her to everything, and, you know, how is she and what's she doing, and don't forget to invite her and blah, blah, blah. But she just got obsessed with the person she was with, and that's all she wanted at that point. But like you said, you know, what happens when that doesn't work out? I mean, I couldn't have got through the things in life that I've been through without my friends. I mean, family are one thing, obviously, but friends are a different ballgame, and I couldn't have got through without three of my girlfriends got me through the whole thing, and are still my best friends today. You know, it doesn't mean you have to phone every day or see them every day, but just to know that they're there.
Yeah. I think my closest friends are the people I talk to the least. Like, they're the ones that you can pick up the phone to, and, like, you've not spoken to them for a week or whatever, and you're not like, oh, where have you been? You know, that kind of thing. And I live quite far away from my friends, and all my friends are school friends. And I actually saw them on one of the bank holidays, and when they left, I cried. Because there's just something so special about that friendship of people that have just known you forever. You can be exactly who you are with them. You know everything about each other. You know, like, everything's out there, and there's just nothing more relaxing and I think more special than that, really.
And so rare to probably get those days too, so you really appreciate it, don't you? OK, it's very important research, actually, back to research. We've got a lot of research today, haven't we? But this new research has revealed the creature comforts Brits like to take on holiday with them. On the list is tin of beans. You ever pack beans in your suitcases? Oh, no, that's OK. An air freshener, slippers, your own pillow. And nearly half like to take a box of their favourite tea bags.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking, Colleen.
Now we're talking. I always take tea bags wherever I go.
Do you take a whole box or do you count them out? Do you
No, I buy those, you know, the smaller boxes. Or
Yeah.
Like, I don't take the big, giant 360,000 tea
I
bags.
thought of checking.
I would.
Yeah.
But I take the smaller bag wherever I go. Well, because even when I come here, like if I'm staying in hotels or whatever, they always have like 2 normal tea bags, and then the rest are all silly,
Fancy
flowery, horrible ones that you can't dunk a digestive biscuit in. So I always like my own tea bags when I go away, because I'm massively into tea, as you know.
Well, I do. There's a tattoo to prove it on. You've seen this, haven't you, folks?
Yeah.
So proud. That's her little teapot. Just to remind her that she likes to drink
kids have got the teacups.
Yes.
On there, it's tattooed.
If I was going somewhere in my car, like in the UK, I'd probably take quite a few of the things on that list.
Definitely
It's nice to have your own pillow, isn't it, and stuff. But when I'm going abroad, I don't take any of that. Literally nothing. I mean, ridiculous.
I like tea bags.
No.
I have to take my own tea bags. I even count them out. And I've had to learn now to take a couple of extras, because if you ever go with a friend and they want one, ooh, it kills me. I'm like, that means I'm not going to have one tomorrow morning. And I also take a candle, which is probably against the rules in most hotels. But I always think it just like makes me feel a little bit more like it smells like home. I don't like it when you go in and it smells a bit musty.
Where are you staying?
What do you mean? What do you mean, where am I staying?
You stay in smelly hotels.
No. But, you know, just like a homely smell. Anyway, you're taking a box of tea bags, so leave me alone.
But you do this, you count them out and all the rest.
I do, yeah, it's a bit pathetic.
You would spend a lot of time with customs.
Yeah, you would.
Around, I reckon. In a little small room with a little sucker pipe.
7:30 a.m.
Sounds like she knows what she's talking about. Have you been in that room, Jane Moore?
I've done a lot of journalistic exercises at airports. That's all I'm saying.
Pillows, I would definitely
Do you take anything?
I don't take anything for myself. I don't care about tea and coffee. I'll always just make do with what I get when I'm there. But when it comes to the children now, yes, I
take
definitely
them.
I've got them. And then I take all the little snacky things that I know are banker-type foods for them, because it's nothing worse when you're away and you think, oh, can't get this.
It's not worth the aggravation,
So I do now. I am that person that brings a whole bag of stuff that I know they're not going to starve, kind of thing. But everything else, no, I'm very happy. I don't do any of that stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, there you go, folks. Thank you very much for your company. Thank you for watching at home. War veteran Simon Weston joins us tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.